All right, here we go. We're live, everyone. We didn't come up with a lead-in topic, but that's okay. Because it should be pretty obvious what our lead-in topic is. My amazing hair. I don't know.
I thought we were going to say how great the weather is. You know, it's a whopping 6 degrees
just
Celsius
again,
right now.
That's the leading topic like every week now because I'm always making fun of you guys.
No,
hey,
to be fair, I've only been back 1 week for the podcast since, so...
Since you were in the States? That's
yeah.
True. That's true. This is a very special episode of the Top Down Perspective because we have a special guest, and that is Vernon Shaw from Hot Pepper Gaming. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey!
Wow, yeah, I don't know how
apparently I'll be the only one clapping.
yeah, I waved. Thanks for having me. I honestly don't know how special I am, but thank you.
Well, you're different. You're different than the usual three. So.
They're all sick of us already, don't worry. You're in the clear right now.
But I remain the only person on the show without glasses.
Oh, yeah. Eyesight, you bastard. But
how dare you have 20/20?
Yeah. For those who don't know, I'm the host, Sean Booker, this week, and I'm joined with John.
Yo.
And Nathan.
Hello.
And of course, our guest.
Yep.
So we'll jump right into what we've been playing. And obviously, I want to know what Nathan's been playing first.
Okay.
Just completely ignore the guest. You sit in the corner right now.
Man, I'm playing boring stuff. I don't know. What's a video games?
Then you seem like the perfect guest for this show.
Okay, my list's really long, but a lot of it's just that kind of bouncing around trying to find something I really want to play. So I played some Nidhogg. We talked about it before. But yeah, I really want to play it multiplayer because I guess there's a bunch of variants.
You've not played a multiplayer? What?
I played it like twice online. Like I actually found a game, and once it was okay, and the second time it was like really laggy. So that ruins that game. So I don't know. I definitely see the potential though. Like it's a lot of fun, even just me against like the random like kind of AI dudes. But I want to play a tournament of that game or something and see that kind of live chaos, so I don't feel like I've had the full experience, but it's pretty cool. Like I guess seeing those same areas over and over again gets a little tedious, but I'm sure with kind of the live craziness of playing against a person, you won't even notice that. So again, yeah. I want to play it properly. But yeah, have you had the opportunity to play it live in person?
That's the only way I played it as multiplayer. I played it online with a friend. And we had no lag, but he was also here in Calgary as well. Super smooth, really fun. That thing gets hectic fast, and I love it.
Did you do like boomerang sword or anything weird, or just?
No, we just did the default standard. I didn't even think to check any of the other variants.
Yeah, I didn't know there were variants until I was watching like coverage of the game that was showcasing just the multiplayer, and I was like, oh, you can turn on the weird ghosting effect and all this weird stuff. Like gravity, you can tweak that, and it's just like I didn't know you could do that. So that game. That like the multiplayer is obviously this part of that game they really fleshed out, which makes sense. But yeah, so that happened, but I still feel like there's more to see there.
Well, here's my question, because I also see Samurai Gunn is further. We'll get to that at some point.
Okay.
And it doesn't have online multiplayer, and you would assume because of all like the Twitch gaming aspect, lag would be awful. Is Nidhogg better for having it, despite it could just be an awful experience?
I think it's neat that you can at least potentially find somebody online to play. Like the one game I did that was good was fine, but it seems the matchmaking takes a long time. I don't know if there's just not a lot of people playing it, but I don't know. I think overall I'm still happy it is an option because it's at least some live competition versus none at all. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm overall happy it's there. But anyway, so some of my favorite gaming time this week was honestly on portable stuff. Like I was playing Lumines over on the Vita, and then like I'd play a full round of that, see how far I could get. I was actually surprised by a lot of the songs that pop up in that game, like stuff I didn't know, like just Air and Chemical Brothers and Wolfgang Gartner. Like there's just weird stuff.
I didn't know Wolfgang Gartner's in there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like the Fifth of Beethoven or whatever, like his Beethoven's Fifth Symphony remix or whatever. That was fun to see. So I try to just kind of get as far as I could in that, fail, and then play 999 and fall asleep. but that means it's fine. That's good. Like, it's not boring. It's just, yeah. I should have maybe done what you said, because like I was like, no, whatever, I got this. I'm gonna keep playing and figure this out. I got the exact same ending.
Did I not say that yesterday?
I got the exact same ending twice in a row.
Yeah.
I saw some different stuff along the way, but like it just started going down the same path towards the end. I was just like, this isn't good, but maybe I can still go and figure. Oh no, never mind. And it was a bad ending. I don't know if that's just what happens when everyone plays it their first time, is things go really bad on that ship, but it went really bad. So yeah, I still like it though. I'm gonna keep taking a crack at it. But like the only thing I'm worried about with like the walkthroughs is I don't want to be spoiled like in any way whatsoever. So you're saying
there's just like a flowchart you can get that doesn't really spoil anything.
Like it just says this part is important. Choose this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But okay, these are kind of older games at this point. Broken Age, that's not even out yet, so I played that for a bit.
But so you came back from the future, is what you're saying?
Yes. Well, I was a Kickstarter guy, so I haven't played as much of it as I'd like to, but that's kind of because like it's not, you know, this is only part 1, and I'm kind of savoring the experience and also trying to like introduce Brittany to this kind of adventure game, so like she's always around while we're playing and seeing it play out, and it's funny. So I've been playing Vela's story, I guess, so I haven't seen like all the weird space stuff or whatever yet, so there's much more to see, but it's been really like just definitely akin to all of Tim Schafer's older stuff. Like it is very like just warm and funny, and you can't die, and it's just kind of easygoing, laid back game. And yeah, it's been pretty impressive so far. Animate's really nice, like the characters especially. It's like just watching a cartoon.
Is that voice actor? What's his name?
Elijah Wood's in it, but I haven't seen any of his stuff yet. I met Will Wheaton's character though, and Jack Black, so they were kind of fun. But yeah, I don't know. That's been enjoyable, but I haven't seen all of it. I feel it's kind of weird. Like it's like I have this kind of inclination where it's like, oh sweet, I got first access to this. I could like live stream it. But if you do, you're kind of spoiling that game for whoever watches it, because it is just those puzzles. So I don't know. I know that's been happening. I don't know. I don't want to do that, because then it's like, check out this thing. I solved all these puzzles, and now you know all the answers.
Well, clearly what you do is you live stream only the dialogue, and then when a puzzle comes up, you just turn on like an intermission screen or something.
I just switch to me.
Just switch to a picture of Tim Schafer.
Yeah, that's just like, this is for his sake. I don't want to ruin it.
But then if you get stuck at the puzzle and you're stuck on that Tim Schafer picture for like an uncomfortable
long time, like it's just me clicking around trying to figure stuff out. Like, yeah, I mean, the puzzle solving, it almost just seems like a lot of it's just talk to everyone and choose all of the dialogue options, and a solution will probably present itself. So it's not too mentally taxing, but it's pretty fun. Do you guys have any interest in that when it comes out? Or are you gonna check it out?
I've been trying to get it from your Steam account, but it's still not technically out, so I can't.
Right. It's licensed only to me because of early.
So sharing doesn't work yet.
Yeah.
I've been looking at it at a glance, but I don't know if I'll really follow up on it because I'm not a big adventure guy. What about you, Vernon?
Man, I still haven't even played Psychonauts yet. It's just been sitting in my Steam library.
Whoa,
Sorry,
what?
years ago. Sorry. It's
I haven't played Psychonauts either.
Yeah, I got it gifted to me for my birthday, and it's one of those things where it's like I stare at it at my Steam library, and I'm like, is tonight the night? Is tonight the night I'm gonna do it? But like, you know how you worry how something like in an older generation, like Xbox, we were still figuring things out. Like it's not the pinnacle of technology. You know, it might be a really, really fun game, but it might also be something that was like fun when, you know, the Xbox was the best thing out there.
Oh, like it doesn't age well?
Yeah.
So I worry about that.
Quite a few years. Sure. Like it's like I did kind of find that with like Beyond Good and Evil, like the HD version came out and I was really excited, and then it's just like, oh man, this tutorial is kind of junk, and I got like stuck on an early puzzle, and it was just like,
how come there's no waypoint? I couldn't
figure out how to push a crate. Like it was just embarrassing. So I don't know. Like I know what you mean, and
so yeah, there's that reticence to play it just because, you know, it might not have aged well, and I might have like missed that bandwagon.
Now I'm just getting the picture, like it's you like, I'm gonna finally play Psychonauts, and then it just cuts to you going, fuck this.
Yeah. But then keeping it quiet because diehard fans and whatever. Yeah,
I don't know. I think it held up okay. I played it a couple weeks ago on a stream, but I mean, you got to be in the mood for like a Mario-esque collectathon platformer.
Yeah, it is very much just a platformer with kind of better flavor dialogue than most kind of thing. So yeah, but this is very much a throwback to like Day of the Tentacle and like Full Throttle and stuff. Like it is very comfortable, like comfort food kind of stuff. Like I don't know, the story though I'm actually kind of intrigued by, even what I've seen so far. It's just a neat take on just weird fantasy stuff, and like it's, yeah, I don't know, pretty interesting protagonist and whatnot. But it's like all stories, all the best stuff, so I don't want to really talk too much about like, oh, this joke was really funny, the guy said, and oh man, it was great, and it's just, no, you just ruined it. Now that was a terrible delivery of that joke, and also now I'm not gonna laugh when I see it. So yeah, I don't want to do that. And then yeah, those were kind of like the things I was like really enjoying, and then I was just kind of looking for something to get into. So I played like another hour of Devil May Cry. I got kind of the one from last year. Yeah, DMC : Devil May Cry or whatever.
Yeah. That colon's an important part of the name, so.
I think I fought like the first boss, but it wasn't like too big. It was like
stage 1.
Like the energy drink stuff. I don't know. Is that
you're
later?
Farther into the game. That's about chapter 7 or 8. That's where I stopped.
Oh, okay. All right. I beat that part, and then I don't know like where I'm going next. I'm kind of just waiting for this Raptor news stuff everyone keeps saying is so amazing.
You are, if memory serves me, 2 chapters away, if not less.
Okay. I kind of got hung up on this weird like jumping side puzzle thing. It's like you get a key and you can open this special challenge. And I was just like, I want to do this. Like this shouldn't be that hard. And then I just tried over and over and kept falling. And then I was just like, I am fed up right now. So I stopped playing it. But I don't know. It was also kind of weird to just jump back in and try to remember how the combat system worked. But I think I picked it all up again, like the left trigger, right trigger modifiers and switching weapons and all that.
That's really the only difference from the other Devil May Cry games. So
then there's no lock-on, right? Like that's
that too. Which that's the one thing that bugs me about that game.
Yeah, like it's kind of just familiarizing myself with all that again.
You're telling me his hair color didn't bug you?
I'm trying to think. Like the character design honestly stood out to me one time when he didn't have a jacket and was just kind of hanging out in the car. He just looks like just some generic guy. Like he just does not have the same flair. And I don't know if that's
just joking because everyone got like angry when he.
I know. So now I'm with those guys. Those internet psychos were actually right. Like
congrats on calling yourself an internet psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the club, man.
I don't know. It was just
we make buttons.
His jacket isn't red anymore either. It's kind of bothersome.
2 out of 10.
Yeah, that's the jacket isn't right. 2 out of 10. They ruined it.
I like how only the jacket's the thing you worry about, not the hair. The jacket.
Well, you get different outfits.
I think all of these are stupid. So
yeah, sorry. I'll keep taking another crack at it.
They changed his eye color. Damn it!
Did they?
No.
Oh man. Okay.
Do you actually know?
I don't actually care.
Eye color? I don't know how much you know of this topic.
I'm honestly not worried about that. It's more just like how distinctive he is as like a video game protagonist, and like sometimes he just looks like some guy on the street, and it's just like that's kind of weird. But I don't know. Then I jumped into Far Cry 3 for a bit. I don't know. Like honestly, like I know I've kind of been mad about aspects of that game for a while, but the thing I kept running into was like I think the Uplay cloud syncing was doing weird things. Like I would like start playing again, and then it would be like your wallet's full. I'm like, what? And I check, and it's like it didn't save the wallet I had hunted before, so I had to go kill a pig again, and I had to do that like 3 times. And I don't know if it was like I would die and then it didn't checkpoint save my wallet, which is the thing I really care about, as opposed to the mission I was on. So
why do you need a wallet in that game?
You need a wallet. It constantly wants you to get wallets. Like that's like that and loot sacks are like the things compelling you to go hunting. And
I would argue in real life that you also need a wallet, though.
You do need a wallet, but I don't need a bigger wallet.
Yeah, you're not going to be carrying around like $100,000 or ruples or whatever the currency is in that game.
It's not even bigger. It honestly makes no sense.
Maybe I am because I'm rich.
It's like this wallet isn't made out of shark meat.
Just get a sack with like a money symbol on it. There you go.
I know. It's so weird. Like, it's just like, this wallet isn't made of the specific kind of leather, therefore can only hold $2,000. So it's just like weird ways the game constrains you and kind of makes you participate in its economy and buy guns and stuff, which is kind of just, I don't know. I don't mind the actual like act of going hunting and finding animals and all that. Like, that's kind of cool, but when it's kind of constraining like my ability to loot is kind of when it gets annoying. Like, I'll be on a mission and it's just like your loot sack is full and there's like nothing you can do other than like start throwing stuff away. So I don't know. I do like that you can loot guns off of anybody though. Like, that's the one thing that stood out, is like, that is a thing I actually appreciate that Far Cry 2 didn't do, because if you stole a gun off of some other guy, it would be like a rusty piece of garbage and it would just fall apart like 10 minutes later. Whereas this is like, the guys that are hunting you are using good guns too, because why wouldn't they? So you can actually add them to your arsenal just by fighting guys. So yeah, but I don't know. I'm still pretty early though. Like, did you guys end up beating that game? Like,
I haven't played it.
Never played it.
Oh, you guys just played Blood Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played the better game. I'm sorry.
Okay. I like islands. I guess there's a weird techno island in that too. It's like a neon-soaked island.
That's how you know it's from the future. It's soaked in neon.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll try that some more, I guess. But there's little quirks here and there that bother me. Kind of the skill trees and whatever. But I won't elaborate then. I played a bit of Risk of Rain with Sean yesterday.
Oh yeah.
But you'll probably talk about that at length. It sounds like you were playing a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh hey, really quick, if I can make a quick aside.
Yeah.
Whenever someone in the chat says macaroni,
I was curious about that.
I said that means they came from the Hot Pepper Gaming Twitter, so I just tweeted out like, hey, we're on this live stream, say macaroni in the chat, and it appears to be working.
Yeah.
And I am the happiest dude because of it.
You got your macaroni following from your
Hello,
Hot Pepper Gaming.
Experiment.
I'm trying to think what to even say about Risk of Rain, if I may. I don't know. It's
how much rain is in the game?
And is it risky?
It's extremely risky.
There's a lot of risk involved. It's kind of a metaphor for how much of like enemies flooding down on you. Like the way they describe the difficulties, it's like torrent or something. Isn't that the last one?
The difficulties are
drenched.
Like, monsoon, torrent, stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's just like the difficulty's constantly going up, and you're just kind of fighting guys and collecting better and better weapons, and I guess just seeing how far you can go. Though, is there kind of an end game, or?
From what I've heard, and I've gotten nowhere near it, there is an end game, but no, it is a roguelike. You're just trying to go as long as you can until you beat it, I guess.
And you're fighting monsters and stuff, and cooperatively seems to be the way to go. Like, I played it by myself, and I don't know, I did.
Actually, in fact, I've played more of it alone. Like, I think that's fine too, but it is great co-op.
Okay. And we were playing on easy difficulty, but yeah.
Would you say it's better co-op than, say, Spelunky? Because Spelunky's co-op's kind of one of those.
Oh, it's like total chaos. I don't think you can shoot each other in this. Like, there's not. No. You're always kind of helping each other, pretty much. Yeah, as far as I can tell. Like, I mean, we did have like there's an option where you can kind of split the loot between each other, and that was causing some kind of yelling. Like, it's just like, oh, I can't even use this thing, and it's just like, oh, Nathan doesn't have enough items. That guy sucks, and then I'd pick up the thing and get harassed about it. It was kind of weird, but yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. Castle Doctrine is kind of one of the weirdest things I checked out. That was today. It is the new game from Jason Rohrer, who the big thing around this game is he basically put $3,000 of real money on the line for the in-game economy. So it's like at the end of this week on the 29th or whatever, he'll take a look at the leaderboard and pay out in real dollars some like amount of money based on how much in-game dollars they have. And that was kind of weird. But the way the actual game is, it is like very traditional roguelike kind of experience, but other players are building the dungeons for you. So you're kind of basically trying to defend your household from other players and then going to rob their houses, and they're setting up traps and like putting guard dogs in there and all this stuff. And I have in practice found the game incredibly like just kind of frustrating, and also the build phase is just kind of really dry. Like, it's just like, do you want to play dungeon builder kind of game? Like, do you want to just sit here and like make hallways and then put a spike trap or like a electric floor over here or something. And it's just like really long. Like you're supposed to spend a lot of time building this house and then going out. And then like on top of that, I find the graphical presentation like really, really stripped down. But that's just me. I don't know. Have you guys heard anything about this? It kind of started getting chatter today, but
I've never heard of this game.
Okay. Fair enough. I don't know how I feel about it right now. It's kind of the big story around it was he was saying this game will never go on sale once it's on Steam. Like he is not a fan of that business model. So he's kind of taking a stand, and he wrote this post that got a lot of people freaking out about kind of the current state of game sales and what that does to the perceived value of games and stuff. So I don't know. It's a little cheaper right now than it's ever going to be again, apparently, but I'm not convinced it's like got enough going on right now to warrant it. So yeah, I don't know how I feel. It's kind of a, if you like old school roguelikes and don't mind like 1993 era graphics, it's interesting, but I am kind of having trouble with it. Then I played some Viscera Cleanup Detail Santa's Rampage by myself.
Where are you finding these games?
Paul gave me that one because it is like has great potential for just goofy, dumb stuff happening. So we tried streaming playing that, but it like desyncs between players all the time and just makes it really hard to actually clean up that whole building. So I was like, I'm going to try to do this by myself. And then I did, and nothing happened. So there's like
you're supposed to feel the reward of a job well done, Nathan.
I guess like I could just look around and be like, yep, it's a lot cleaner than it was before after like 2 hours ago. But I kind of wish there was just like a threshold of cleanliness you reached, and then it's like, good job, you won or something. Like it was just like I did all this stuff.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a metaphor because a room can never truly be clean because it'll always keep getting dirty.
I mean, I didn't organize all the stuff, too. Like, I didn't start putting all the presents.
I feel like this is a great example. Like, remember when people were like, why are you playing Guitar Hero? Just learn a real guitar. It's like, why are you playing a game about cleaning? Why don't you just clean your room?
Yeah, I know. Like, it's kind of like, I could actually vacuum, or I'd rather not. I'd rather play this video game about mopping.
There's no high score on life, guys.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of fun. Like, it's just like the whole thing is like a first-person shooter has already happened. Now clean it up. Kind of like you're cleaning up the aftermath. So there's like shotgun shells everywhere and just blood, and you have like a mop and a like grunge detector, and that's it. You can kind of like use your hands to like pick up stuff.
How does Santa get involved with this?
It's Christmas themed. This is the Christmas one. So
there's multiple ones of these?
Well,
there's one set on Space Station. Oh, sorry, the Shadow Warrior one.
No, I said the Santa's Revenge is just the subtitle of the series.
Yeah, this is an entry in this series, which I don't know. It reminds me of that Weird Al song. So Night Santa went crazy. So I thought it was
good song.
Yeah.
Hey, big fan.
And then like a couple hours ago, I started Darksiders again. The first one?
Again?
Yeah, I played it before, like 4 years ago. And
did you play the second one?
I started the second one and then stopped playing it.
Okay.
And then I started this one, and I really like how it starts. It's just like the apocalypse is actively happening, and you drop down in like busy city streets, and you're like throwing cars at demons. And then I don't know, it starts really well. So I don't know how much more I'm going to play of that, but I was like, yeah, this game's cool, and like the sword fighting is really simple, and yeah. But again, like all that latter stuff I just listed is just kind of me looking for something to get really invested in again. The portable systems kind of won the week for me, but yeah. Sorry to ramble on.
Guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my cat. She's looking really cute, and I just hold something.
Right, here we come, flying cat coming out of the corner of the camera screen. Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry, continue.
2 special guests. Right.
Michael's actually been on a couple episodes of Hot Pepper Gaming for drinking our milk.
Yes, I've definitely seen that. Yeah.
All right, so we have to ask the cat what games they played next. So.
I think just like I don't know, is biting me when I'm trying to sleep a game.
Do you keep score? So yes.
Yeah.
All right, Vernon, you're up next. Tell us what games you've been playing.
Oh, I feel so boring. I don't know. I always worry like that I'm not being a good enough gamer because sometimes I'll just forget to play video games, and instead I'll like, I don't know. I finished Legend of Korra finally.
Okay.
No, recently played is what I've been playing the most is Starbound. I don't know. Have any of you guys played that?
I
have it installed, but
yeah, I almost started it up like a week or so ago.
I'm pretty curious about
it. For those of you who don't know what it is, listening in podcast land, Starbound is a sort of like a 2D Minecraft, sort of like I've never played Terraria, but I'm told it's very much like Terraria.
Right.
Takes place in space. The big draw to it is the fact that you get to travel to different planets and you're seeing different worlds. So like in Minecraft, whereas you have one world that you're just running around, you can just sort of warp to a different place. And I believe they're all, and this is, maybe I haven't done enough research, but I believe they're all like interconnected, as in like you can give someone coordinates and they can see the same world that you just saw. So it's procedurally generated in a sense, but procedurally generated in a way that you can visit the same things that people have visited. So far, it's really fun. The big problem is that it's still in alpha, so you're dealing with regular data wipes, or beta, I don't know. So you're dealing with data wipes. You're dealing with like features that are promised but aren't there yet. So it has a lot of potential. I'm kind of hesitant to keep playing it because I don't want to get too invested in it before data wipe.
Right.
But currently, like, it's pretty worth your money. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot to create. There's a lot to explore. There's a lot of balancing that needs to happen.
Do you know
the coolest thing that I heard about it was like you could get stranded and have to like rebuild a ship or something.
I haven't dealt with that yet, unfortunately. Okay. I wish I could speak more to that fact. But the game actually starts off with you stranded and then like finding like coal to power your ship. Your ships are powered by coal. It's very paradoxical.
Okay, it's like steampunk, kind of like that.
No, actually, there's a bunch of different races.
Okay.
Well, I mean, one could make the argument for steampunk being that one of the races called the Glitch are robots that, like, I don't know, for some reason they maintain that like medieval kind of feeling to them. So there's a lot of these and those with them. Strange. It's weird.
How much like sci-fi hooks like can you get laser rifles, or is there like spaceship customization or something?
Yeah. Right now they just rolled out spaceship customization. A lot of the items in the game, I feel like I'm at a very beginning portion of the game since I'm still working with melee weapons, still looking for that next sword to like protect myself from monsters or whatever while I explore. But you can work your way up to guns and rifles and laser stuff and just increasingly more and more badass things. The game is divided into tiers, separated by bosses. So whenever you you summon a boss, you fight them, you beat them, and then you unlock a new tier of building. So then you can get different metals, different things to build. And then you can visit different planets which offer different materials to mine. So you continually work off of that and just get bigger and better loot.
Do you know what studio's actually working on the game?
I think it's some of the team from Terraria.
Okay, because the footage I've seen of it does look very similar to Terraria, so I see why they always make the comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think because it's still in alpha, it's trying to kind of get the Minecraft sense of if we just put it out in its very basic phase, we can just keep building up our fan base like Minecraft has? Because a lot of games are doing that now. Even Nathan said he's playing a game in alpha right now.
I don't think that's specific to Starbound. I think that's just games.
Just early access is the hotness right now.
I'm just saying it's like a similar concept, but
yeah, it's pretty interesting where the industry is headed. Like, if you were to tell me back in 1997 when I was playing NFL Quarterback Club on the Nintendo 64 that at some point people were going to be giving me games that kind of weren't finished and you were just going to play it and it's eventually going to get better, but sort of the fun is watching it get better and joining in the community and creating other things, I probably wouldn't have believed you, and I think I would have been eating a lot of Lunchables at the same time.
Actually, we got someone up on Twitter that said Starbound has recently touted that the next coming patch will feature the last time they wipe your character in shuttle data.
Thank God.
So
thank God.
Apparently,
nice.
this guy says not too much longer.
Okay. Well, there's that. Well, I feel kind of bad now because I actually did a Hot Pepper game review of it. That's going to go up in a couple weeks, where I mentioned the data wipe. So I might have to like do some redacting or
do some fancy editing.
Yeah.
This guy's lying.
Yeah, most people don't realize that we sort of like block shoot Hot Pepper Gaming things. It's just
most people don't realize that happens with most content in general. Like we do videos as well on one of my channels, and we keep getting comments on videos we recorded like 6 months ago. How come you're not playing this game that just came out?
Well, sort of didn't exist back then.
Yeah, the time travel issue hasn't been figured out yet. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Starbound. It's really fun. I'm glad to see that the data wipes are going to end. You know, it's definitely going to be worth it in the future, and it's already having this burgeoning community around it. Going back to what you were saying about the interesting thing about like alpha games and you know, building something together with a community. I just think that's a really cool area that Starbound and games like it are going into.
Sure.
In the fact that, you know, this isn't how it used to be, but now we're working together as a community and not just like a publisher gamer, you know, connection.
Right, and you can almost feel like more of an attachment to that game as a player if you kind of like, I don't want to say like watched it grow, but like you were there when it was just like broken or something.
Mm-hmm.
You just saw it evolve and whatnot.
I mean, it's Broken Age, seeing the documentary stuff and then seeing like, oh, this character's now in the game because of that decision made that I saw them make. It's kind of weird, but kind of cool. Like, you feel like you were witness to like creative moments that actually are now playing out right in front of you. But that's a little.
Or it was all scripted and life sucks.
That whole movie,
everything is a lie.
That was so weird. Seemed random. But...
It does kind of. I feel like it might be a double-edged sword, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way about this, but when Minecraft was in alpha, is the time I got into it, and at that point they still hadn't figured out the like the mining portion all too well. Like the resources were a little scarce, and my game would frequently corrupt. And after that happened, I was like, man, I don't want to play this anymore. And then I haven't really touched Minecraft since alpha.
Sure. No, I see what you're saying. Yep. Well, isn't that why like? On Steam, specifically when there's like an early access game, it's like really common for developers to be like, this game is super common, we might change tons of stuff.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
DayZ was really good about being upfront about, this is not done at all, thank you for buying it, but don't expect this to work the way it's going to eventually, kind of thing. Or like Wasteland 2 is kind of weird though, because they're charging more than they will eventually right now. So they're kind of like opening it up to like, hey, if you want to help us, like you can do that now. We'll give you a bunch of like bonus stuff. But this game will eventually not be $60. So people are trying different ways to do it.
That is strange.
Yeah. Mercenary Kings, John, did you check that out yet? You have it on your profile. But
John left for a minute.
John left for a minute?
You asked
can
me
see
to
it.
go off the camera.
Whoa.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doing that.
Jeez.
I was looking at the camera, not at the screen. So.
I mean, to keep the conversation going, I've also been playing Samurai Gunn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Yeah, so we mentioned it a bit earlier.
We actually, I don't know if it's early access, because it's not technically out yet, right?
I think it's out.
I think
is it?
It is
Okay.
out.
Okay, we got it because we're testing out this new format called Hot Pepper Versus, where two people eat hot peppers and play a versus video game, and then the winner gets the milk.
Okay.
You're just designed around just torturing people, aren't you? Like that's the whole idea, isn't it?
Specifically, yeah. And I really hope that
Rub
that's
hot peppers in your eyes and then try and play this game.
just everybody's crying.
Yeah.
Everybody's just pain. I don't know, like.
Now I'm thinking just like, we're going to play an entire session of Mario Party rubbing these in your eyes. This is going to be like 2 hours long, but this is how it's going to go. What happened?
Yeah, I worry about that a lot. Like, I don't want to be the guy who just hurts people for the rest of my life. Like, Hot Pepper Gaming is really, really fun. It's a lot of fun to work on, and it just like brings me and all my gaming friends together, and like all the people who work on the channel. Just, it's a fun activity. But man, do I want to not keep hurting people?
I do this because I love you.
But yeah, it's so yeah, so. The game, the Hot Pepper Versus, like we got Samurai Gunn for that, and it's just a blast to play, man. It's Super Smash Brothers. Again, for those of you guys who haven't played it, it's a samurai-based arena fighting game. No, not battle arena, but just screen fighting game. So it's a lot like very stripped. Yeah, very exactly like Towerfall, or a very stripped down version of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
So it's just very fast paced. It's very frenetic. There's a lot of
sword.
Yeah, just a couple buttons to play. Easy to pick up, hard to master, all that stuff. But yeah, and it's just a blast to play, and I'm really eager to just get as many friends as possible with as many like Xbox controllers as possible hooked into my PC to play this game.
Yeah, I guess my problem with Samurai Gunn is just I don't really ever have people over. So
yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, the constant battle to actually have friends. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Right. So.
I think, like I talked about earlier, but Nidhogg might be a good candidate for that because it's got the very push-pull thing. Like a match can go an insanely long time, but I don't know, it can flip really quickly. It's also
That's true. I'm really excited to play Nidhogg.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like Samurai Gunn, it's very like one hit you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like
two-button kind of game, similar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And you have one more game on this list.
Oh yeah, I'm still talking, aren't I? Sorry. Right, yeah, I finally got into Borderlands 2. I'm operating like a year behind on things in terms of Steam sales. Just I'll get excited about something and then kind of just like I don't want to pay that much money, and then end up buying it for like $2.99 on Steam.
I was gonna say, like at this point, that thing's got to be like $5 for like all of it.
I think the Game of the Year one's still a bit more, but yeah, I paid $7.49 I think for it in like November or something.
Exactly, and it's super worth it.
Yeah.
So I haven't played Borderlands 1, and it's been a while. Look, man, what do you want?
We're just gonna keep saying this.
No, I'm just surprised you like skipped it. Like.
All I do is make people eat hot peppers and then review video games.
All I do is hurt people. I don't have time for video games. God.
Oh man, I wish I had like a Twitch or something where I can be like, well, this is my job that I'm going to do right here. I'm going to play this thing that I've been meaning to play. Feel free to watch me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
John.
You're blowing my cover. Shut up.
Not to call anybody out. Person with the entire wall of video games that he's no doubt played.
No one's.
Oh, you don't know John.
Wall of video games behind me.
What's your class? Who do you play as?
Oh shit. I don't even know if I'm allowed to swear on this, but
Hasn't fucking stopped me. Hasn't fucking stopped me.
It happens.
Commander. It's mostly a thing. So I have two brothers, and we used to be like really, really close. Like we grew up poor. We lived in the same room as each other for like 18 years, and we were all like homies, and we all used to play multiplayer video games together. And this is the first time in a long time that I've really experienced that, like, well, we're sort of scattered to the four corners of the winds. How are we going to keep together? Oh, right, playing Borderlands 2 together, and like drawing friendship and like communication out of that. So like, you know, like you can call your brothers and just, yeah, you can call your brother and say, hey, what's up? How's it going? Things are great. This is what I'm doing. Girls are girls and whatever. But like,
girls are girls. Confirm.
Ain't that true? But you know, when you're actually like in a game working together on something, like working towards a goal, I think that's a deeper connection than just like, hey, how was your day? Like, how did that
you don't know a man
day
until
go?
you watch him shoot some guy right in the face.
Precisely. Yeah, it's
electric gun. Yeah.
Yeah, with an electric gun that also like swears at you or something.
Oh yeah. So you know, like, you all probably know this already, but the game is really fun. The writing's on point. Very addictive. Very like, I don't know. It's very amazing how they've incorporated the RPG elements and the things that sort of keep you playing. Not only keep you playing, but keep you like wanting to explore, wanting to complete quests, and wanting to like level up.
So what's your class?
Is it Commander?
That's like the main dude, the guy.
Yeah.
If you're Anton, you're Commando.
Yeah, my older brother runs a Necromancer, and my little brother, shit, what's the assassin class?
I think
Zero?
it's Assassin.
No, isn't it Zero or something?
No.
Zero's the character.
Oh, okay. I always play Siren. I like Siren.
Okay. Yeah.
I like Gunzerker, so.
Sure.
We've been playing it cooperatively. We're about 23 levels in, as in leveled up to level 20. I'm confusing myself here. But yeah, really fun so far.
Yeah. No, I remember that game is always like, just one more quest, and then it's like 5 in the morning.
Like, yeah, I understand that I have work tomorrow, but what about one more quest?
Exactly. Yeah. All right, John, what have you been playing?
I've been playing video games such as Nidhogg, which I spelled as Nidog in the doc because apparently I don't remember the names of games anymore.
NIHD, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I had played some rounds with a friend. Went through all 4 maps. Really good. Needs more maps.
Kind of does, yeah. But
you go through those fast.
And the swords kind of blend into the cloud one. You can't even see it.
That's the thing. The cloud one throws you off a bunch because like the random platforms that'll disappear when you're standing on them too long and stuff like that.
That sounds perfect if you're gonna throw it because it'll be like stealth throw sword.
How do you deal with the narrow hallway in the mines? Because that always gets really standoffy and rolling into swords.
Well, that's the challenge. So like, because you can counter like down shots. Like you can counter rolls
like
with
flicking your sword out.
No, yeah, put your sword down and that'll counter a roll.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to counter someone who's blocking for a roll, go up and stab them in the face because they have to lean down.
Okay, just a face stab.
Yeah,
it's violent,
or disarm them. You can disarm them.
But it is. Yeah. I don't know. But
I don't know. I think it's really good. I've also been playing more Payday 2 as always.
They added basically prestiging, right?
Yeah.
Infamy.
They call it infamy. So the way it works in this game is now when you hit a level 100, and if you have $200 million in your offshore account, which odds are if you're level 100 you probably have that much, you give up all your levels and all your skill points and go back to level 1. But now you've got an infamy point. Now this infamy point unlocks another tree, which will give you perks. I think the 2 perks you get right off the bat are it takes 5% less experience to actually level up, and you get 25% off any skill point costs in the skill tree. So basically, prestiging will let you get more skills if you level back up to 100.
Do you know all this because you hit level 100 last week?
No, I'm only level 71.
Okay.
I figured you were a lot closer than any of.
I haven't played for like a week straight. I took a break.
You were playing right before we started recording.
Well, until today. That was also for a recording, so.
Okay.
So justification. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. Okay.
But yeah, no, I've been enjoying that. I think the prestiging is cool. They added a new song. Every time they do like a major update.
Your plan was to stop at level 100. Now that prestiging is there, what's the new plan?
Play until I stop finding it fun.
Okay.
I think that's a good rule of thumb for a video game.
It's great because like with the whole conceit of the game, you could go on that one last job, and it'll be the last thing. And it's super dramatic. Like it's like, oh, were you there for Proton John's like last run? It's like, yeah. It's crazy.
See that one time he failed to rob a bank like 30 times?
He fought like 8 dozers by himself. It was nuts, and then the legend will spread.
The legend.
Yeah, I don't know. And then you'll come back, pick up your gun again one day in like 2017.
And then I'll find out how bad I am at the game again.
And then the servers will be down. I don't know. Who knows?
That too, probably.
Yeah.
On top of Payday, I played Pokemon Y. I ended up falling into that trap.
Oh, you actually started digging it?
We started it last week and you weren't enjoying it.
Well, I'm reminded why I used to like Pokemon when I was still in high school.
Okay.
But
So are you warming up to it? I don't know what you're.
I'm warming up to it a little bit more.
Okay.
I'm playing with a gimmick. That's probably why I'm finding it actually interesting to play because it's different to me. So right now I have 5 Fire-type Pokemon, and I'm waiting to find a 6th one, and I'm just gonna have all Fire Pokemon and see if I can actually beat the game.
All right. I bet you can, considering you can beat that game with just like one really powerful Pokemon.
Yeah, so probably just
Isn't that how it's always been, at least?
Yeah, that's my strategy all the time.
You can usually just like grind out.
Yep.
See, when I played the game as a kid, I was always like, all right, I have to make sure everyone's just as powerful, because that way I can get all my.
That.
Really?
No, it's always been you get a starter, and then everyone else is like an HM tool, and they're all level 4, and the starter's way powerful.
What happens if like an insta-kill move happens, like explosion?
Yeah. Well, then you send out the HM guy, and you use revive on your main guy, HM guy gets killed, main guy comes back, saves the day.
You have a bizarre strategy for this game. Although apparently that's really the speedrunning strategy too, so...
Oh, there you go.
There you go, so you're a professional speedrunner.
Yep. No,
Congratulations.
Next thing you know, you're doing segments of Half-Life 2 where you're, I don't know, like jumping through walls, and also you have a crowbar in a box, and you're jumping on the box. It gets complicated.
You were totally watching
speedruns.
You were totally watching AGDQ.
Yeah,
It was so good.
But I don't know, like I think I have the same interest in speedrunning as most of like the generalized public who don't know a lot about speedrunning, in that like you just don't know how someone beats Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time in 25 minutes, and you just sort of like stare at the video transfixedly as like
because they're just doing weird shit.
Yeah, and the most fascinating things are like when someone like runs a commentary over it, and they're like, okay, so like the game clock is counting down right now, and at a certain time, like I can backflip into this one thing, and it'll warp me to a certain place, and you sort of get a bigger understanding of how video games work in that sense, and it's really fun to watch. But I
feel like that's more of a bigger understanding of how video games are broken.
Yeah, well, true.
It does kind of ruin the immersion of a game, but I mean that's half the fun. Is just breaking the hell out of it.
Yeah, true.
What else, John?
Still enjoying Pokemon. I also played Stone Protectors for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, I've never heard of this game.
Do you remember Trolls?
No. Like from the
dolls?
80s with the hair?
Oh, the dolls. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you know that they made a version of that for guys?
No, but that sounds like something they would try.
I guess I know that now.
Yeah. Did you know they also made a cartoon?
Was it called Stone Protectors?
I think it was, actually.
Okay.
Apparently, like, the toys were something else, but the idea... This is basically a beat-em-up where you play as, like, these weird troll monstrosities.
Mm-hmm.
And you try to save...
off trolls. Okay.
Yeah, they're, like, the weird, like... It's a...
Do they have, like, the crazy hair?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, that's the distinctive thing, so I'd imagine that was, like, how do we make this hair appealing some
The distinctive hair and, like, the weird, like, face that kind of looks like a Goomba.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, it's like a weird beat 'em up where you're like this rock band, this punk band that gets transformed into these giant trolls, and you have to run around fighting these monsters, trying to save whatever kingdom the gems that gave you the power to transform came from. It's really stupid.
Okay, that sounds like a video game premise. That's not bad. I don't know.
Was it fun? Did you enjoy playing this game?
No, actually.
No.
It's
not even
weird.
a fun beat 'em up. You just
okay, I'm a big fan of beat 'em ups. I love like Streets of Rage, Final Fight, stuff like that. Stone Protectors, for some reason, has lag on every move you do. So half the time your controls don't actually work, and you die all the time because of it.
like just long animations, or
it'll be like, all right, I'll press the X button. Attack. Attack.
This obviously isn't online or anything, right? So.
No, it's a Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Right.
Just input lag weirdness somehow. That sounds broken.
It's not that good.
Did you beat it though? It's like 90 minutes long or something? Or?
No, I tried it once or twice. I'm like, all right, no, I'm not gonna waste my day playing this.
Okay.
I might go back to it later if I figure out something. But what I ended up playing instead was the original Crash Bandicoot.
Hey.
Because I'd actually never played it before until like a week ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd never played any Crash games up until like whatever stream that came up on.
Okay.
And I gotta say, fuck that game.
Oh, okay. I was like, I gotta say, Naughty Dog really holds up. It's amazing. Those guys had it.
Crash Bandicoot 1 is not a good game. I am shocked that we got a big, long series out of it.
I feel like so many people are just like yelling at you right now.
You know, here's the funny thing. When I did the stream for that, everyone in the chat was like, yeah, don't worry, the other games are better. The first one's kind of bad.
Okay.
So I had affirmation that I was not thinking this myself. I think the main problem I'm having with it, though, is the fact that I'm trying to 100% it.
Oh.
That's usually a problem with like every game.
Because here's how you 100% this game. You beat a stage, you break every box in the stage, and you do that all in one life.
Okay. Like if you die, you lose completion?
Yeah, you don't 100% the stage. You have to break all boxes in one go without dying. Checkpoints don't count.
Gross. Okay.
Do you get anything for doing that?
Yeah, you get a gem which lets you 100% other stages.
This is like
Wait,
really
so you get
annoying
the
achievements
opportunity
before
to do it
achievements.
again.
Yep.
On a different stage, yeah.
I mean, wasn't
That's-
Crash Bandicoot one of the first like launch titles of the original PlayStation 1 where they were kind of, I don't know, trying to figure stuff out?
It
With
was,
3D?
yeah. Like it's one of the few games that actually you can get a tall box for.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just it shows its age, I guess, or just the fact that Naughty Dog figured out a lot of stuff in the later Crash games.
I don't even know how it is. Like, is it side-scrolling, or are you running towards the camera or something weird? Like,
It's both. There's points where you'll be doing just left to right, jumping and dodging, and have to go in the foreground and background. There's points where you'll be running towards the camera, running away from the camera.
okay.
It's basically a 3D platformer disguised as a 2D platformer. It's trying to be like that phenomenal 2.5D platformer, but it's not really.
It was like Mario 3D Land and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there? Yeah. Okay. That's too bad. I've never played it, actually. I think I've only played Crash spin-offs, like Nitro Kart and Crash Bash. So, yeah. They're Mario Party clone.
I think I'm something similar to that, yeah.
It's pretty great.
Crash Bash.
Crash Bash.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm almost done the game. I think I'm like 75% through. I might as well finish it off if I'm at this far. So.
I guess. Yeah.
And then maybe I'll try the second one because like, everyone tells me it's much better. So I'm hoping that's actually the case.
I'm actually going to say no, you don't have to finish it
Oh,
off.
now I remember what the real thing that kind of bugged me off with this.
Okay.
Do you know how you save in the game?
You go to like slot 1 or something and say, hey, memory card or something. And...
No.
Okay. That's just crazy.
One
guess.
would assume.
Yeah.
No, well that happens later.
I'm gonna assume it's something obtuse.
Yep. You either find a bonus game and win it,
Okay.
or you 100% a stage.
Wow.
That-
It's like hiding saves behind really skilled gameplay. That's weird.
Yeah, so there was literally one point where I wanted to go to bed and then couldn't because it took me an hour and a half to find any area I could actually 100% a stage.
What about the bonus game? What's so bad about that? Why don't
You only get to do them once. Once you've done them, they're cleared and they don't ever come back.
Oh, okay.
I don't
there's- I was
understand
gonna
why
say,
the
it's like-
reaction to this game is, well, I might as well just finish it. Your reaction should just be like, I'm going to throw you out the window.
There's like, it's just stupid because there's a finite amount of times you can save.
That's weird. That almost seems like something you'd see in like Dead Rising. Like,
and
you can
here's
only
the thing,
save this
too.
many times.
Here's another thing. Certain stages you can't even 100% your first time through because you need a certain gem that you get later on in the game. So you have to go back to those stages after clearing so many other stages 100% to get the gems you can 100% and save.
So it's like, oh sweet, I got a gem. Now I can save. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Incentive. It's like, you know, it's got a roguish element to some of the stages.
The only cool thing about it is that they actually, this is back before they figured people would be buying the memory cards.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a password option on top of the ability to just like save to a memory card.
Oh, okay.
So if you didn't own a memory card, you'd be like, all right, type in like up, down, left, right, and then you'll be back at stage 2.
Man, that is so like still trying to figure things out.
I know, which is probably why everyone's like, Crash 2 is so much better, because all that bull is just gone, but I don't know. I'm just going to stick it out since I'm that far.
There you go.
All right,
Kinda-
so I played one game this week.
Yep.
I played it a whole whack. Like, this is weird. I usually don't get addicted to games, but Risk of Rain is really good, and it's hitting like all my pleasure centers.
Even the sexy ones.
Like every pleasure center I can think of. Pleasure centers I didn't even know I had.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I've pretty much played it like every night this week since starting. Like we did our movie podcast. I played it throughout that podcast.
Okay.
If we weren't on camera, I'd be playing it while we were talking. It's very Borderlands-like in its in just kind of the aspect of all the weird loot you can get, and it's just really weird stuff. But what's really great is all the power-ups and items that you can unlock are like all extremely useful. So, like Nathan talked a little bit about before, but you're kind of always getting swarmed by enemies, and you'll get something like every time you kill an enemy, you're going to get health, which is extremely useful. Or every time you kill an enemy, your max health is going to go up. or every time you kill an enemy, the ground's going to get lit on fire. Like, all the wet power-ups are just fantastic. And then, so I've been playing with Paul, and we came up with this Risk of Rain daily challenge, which is like a spoof on the Spelunky daily challenge, where we have one shot to see how far we can make it. I've only ever made it to level 3 before just getting destroyed. That game ramps up.
Did we make it that far, or not quite?
I'm trying to think.
I thought we died in like the very opening seconds of level 3 or something.
Yeah, right. Yes, just after that. I made it a bit longer than that before. I've survived maybe 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
But yeah, that game, like you drop your guard for a sec, and you'll just be swarmed with like 3 boss monsters at the same time. But anyway,
is there a persistent layer to it though? Like, does anything carry over? Like stuff you unlock or something? Like the
stuff
classes?
you unlock will carry over, because if you make it like certain distances in the game, you'll unlock new items that can be used.
Okay.
Or that can be like purchased and found. And then also just game completion percentage. Like, I've been playing it a ton, and I've done 9% of the game, because there's so many items to find and whatnot. I'll say the soundtrack is fantastic.
When you get to hear it over the explosions.
Right, yeah. I got a power-up that made every one of my shots exploded.
So it was just like non-stop explosion sounds as like we're trying to talk to each other.
Because I had a machine gun, so every time I was shooting, it would explode everywhere. That game's extremely fun.
You killed like 20 dudes in one shot. It was crazy.
Yeah. I'll probably be playing it once we finish this podcast.
Okay. So that's a ringing endorsement. It's like
really
$10 or something.
It is $10. The one thing I absolutely despise about it, though, is to get the multiplayer, it's like port forwarding and IP address related.
Yeah, it's a little.
I've never experienced that in a game before, and that is complete bullshit.
That's pretty much all PC gaming before Steam.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? This game's on Steam, so fuck that.
I know. Like Viscera, I had to do the same thing to play with Paul, and it was just like this is like what people would talk about when they would play Quake in like 1997. Like this is, but it's right now, 17 years later. Like how did that happen?
I honestly don't understand why you would do that. Like it ensures that I can never just play with anyone. I always have to like plan out a multiplayer.
Yeah, it is a little strange, but
it sucks. I hate it so much. But anyway, yeah, for those watching, we do our daily, it's not daily, it's almost daily, Risk of Rain daily challenge. And because you can have 4 people, we're probably going to get fans in on it. So if you like Risk of Rain, you should definitely join us. I know we're doing one tomorrow night, so we got 2 slots open, just for people to know.
There you go.
And if that's it for everything we played, let's talk about the last week in news.
Yay.
Hooray. Big stuff happened.
I only wrote down one of these, so some of this is new to me too.
So are we discussing the political conflict in Ukraine?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's not video game news; it's world news.
Did anyone hear about Justin Bieber being arrested?
Yeah,
is that a big deal?
Yeah, I think it's a big deal in the fact that I guess like I don't know, people I guess on our side of the media are more angry that news trumped the Ukraine news in CNN. So it's like this sort of like political upheaval, and it's kind of like shit's getting bad in Europe, but like this one guy from Canada who's this like big pop star who you really shouldn't care about, but we're gonna make you care about him. He drag raced a car and he was kind of drunk.
Yep. World headlines. That's important.
Drag racing is incredibly dangerous. Rest in peace, Paul Walker.
Oh my God. Also news, but that was from a while ago.
Too furious, too soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is officially the Paul Walker Memorial stream.
Exactly. Yeah, that's like every one of these podcasts, to be honest. At least in my heart.
Guys, games are great. This is all awesome. Video games is perfect. But man, Paul Walker, Fast and the Furious.
Never forget.
Never forget. I'll wake up sad every morning. Okay.
Deeply felt. Okay.
We're living in a post-Paul Walker environment.
Fantastic. All right. So Nintendo, apparently they're not doing too well.
What? But like 2 weeks ago, I had that story where they're doing okay.
Right.
What happened?
Well, okay is not well.
Oh, okay, you're right. What? Oh, this is the Wii U sales thing, right? Like the forecast.
This is the Wii U sales.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, in previous iterations, they were talking like we're expected to hit like 9 million sales, and then most recently they came out and said we're actually only probably going to hit like 2.8 million sales, which is a huge drop.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, I did notice on Twitter, Nathan, you mentioned you picked up Zelda Wind Waker HD, so I'm sure they're very thankful for you helping them out.
It was honestly the day I read that news. I was like, we got to go to the mall. And then I bought that game. I was like,
gotta go buy a Nintendo
console. They need a console sale.
I already did. We got 2 in this house.
Buy a third.
No.
Make them drag race each other.
How much do you love Nintendo?
Too much, apparently. But
So we have to go out and buy all the Wii Mini.
we gotta buy
That's
some.
what
Yeah,
Paul Walker would have
2DS. Yeah.
Paul Walker left this world with a thriving Nintendo, and we need to cherish that.
At what point does this get wrong? Like, at what point should we, like, take a step back?
Like, apologize to the Walker estate.
Never.
So Nintendo's even come out to state like they're thinking about new business structure, and given the expansion of smart devices, we are naturally studying how smart devices can be used to grow the game player business. It's not as simple as enabling Mario to move on a smartphone.
That was a weird quote, but yeah.
It's weird to hear Nintendo actually talking about we might have to significantly change some stuff.
Like license out some stuff or something, yeah. It was weird.
Like, I don't know, I kind of agree with that. Nintendo's been the company that's had this, like, almost, like, I don't know, like, almost stupidly, like...
Stubborn?
Traditional...
Yeah, stubborn's the word, sorry for saying stupidly, but, like, the stubborn clinging to, like, how it is traditionally, and I don't know if history's taught us anything, like, when you cling to what's traditional and what's safe, obviously you're going to get, like, washed over by the people who are embracing the new things and are trying the new things. Mm-hmm. So while I think it's really cool to, like, you know, I'm holding that Super Mario 64 in my heart. I'm, loving every Zelda release regardless of if it's the same game or not. If they don't sort of understand where gaming is going, they're gonna get the Sega treatment, man. They're like we're gonna Dreamcast ourselves on out of here.
On the other side, though, like the Wii, that was drastically different and saved them from weird GameCube sales.
Well, that's
so weird how quickly that reversed again, though. Like, and the attach rate was terrible. Like, people bought a game or two and then just kind of ignored everything else. So third parties still totally left, and now we're kind of like I was playing Game and Wario today, but like that's first party stuff. Like, it's all first party stuff. So I don't know. It's might not be long for this world. I don't know. Kind of makes me sad.
Like Vernon was bringing up earlier, just the way they think is so backwards. There was an interview a week or two ago where someone was talking about during Wii U development, they asked the people in charge of their online infrastructure, why is this not some other Xbox Live? And their response was, we've never used Xbox Live. That's insane.
But they're not even like keeping tabs on their competitors and what.
I'm sorry, what's an Xbox?
Yeah, like it's like why?
Are you talking about a GameCube? Because that's a great system.
Hey man, I'm sticking by the GameCube, man. I love that system.
I'm saying I like the great GameCube too. I'm saying they're just like, what's an Xbox?
That's weird to me because I thought they would, like go and check out other stuff.
Yeah, you would at least research.
But yeah, I don't know.
Just walk over casually to someone else's booth. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just at like a trade conference. You are not allowed to look in that direction.
No.
But there's so much green light, and there's like a dance party happening. You must look to the left at all times.
Cranky Kong's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a big announcement, guys. Cranky Kong is in the game.
They did that. I don't know. Where's Samus? I
think it's pretty safe to say any drastic change will not be happening anytime soon. They've still got tons of money from the Wii.
I don't know about that because there's rumors going around now that there's already talks of the next system being in development.
What? I've seen rumors too. I don't know. I don't think so.
Has anyone else heard about this? The Fusion, I think, is what they were calling it.
Supposedly, like, wait, the Wii U's like a year and 4 months or something, and it's like, okay, moving on. What
keep in mind, Nintendo always develops their systems like years in advance.
Yeah,
well, everyone does.
It's just like at that point, the timeline becomes this was the Virtual Boy, and now the N64 is coming out or something. Like, it's weird. But
there's talks that I think the Fusion, which I think based on initial documents is supposed to be like this weird merging of handheld market and console market.
I find that rumor very hard to believe. I did read it, but I just can't see that being...
I don't know. I'm just stating it. It's obviously pure rumor. Nintendo would be kind of weird to just abandon their system that fast, but...
Or would that be them like actually linking 3DS and Wii U purchases or something? Like I could play Earthbound on the 3DS now. Like that's what that means.
Who knows? Who knows? I still don't think there's going to be a huge change for Nintendo for a number of years. I don't think they're that like in a
flexible and ready to...
Not so much flexible, I just don't think they're in that, like, they're clearly nowhere close to being bankrupt or anything. They have tons of Wii sales, so
yeah,
they might do something, but next generation maybe.
It seems like a lot of a knee-jerk reaction, I suppose, to bad quarterly sales. And, you know, Nintendo's still making money hand over fist with 3DS sales and 3DS games. So, like, they still have that stranglehold on an entire market of handheld games. It naturally won't last forever. But dude, I'm so excited.
Exactly, right? And so are like a billion other people because it's Smash Bros. So
it's like one bad quarter or one actually abysmal quarter. I don't think is going to destroy Nintendo, and I think a lot of the negative reaction is just like knee jerk and. You know, like the knee-jerk compounding upon the knee-jerk. I think Nintendo's going to pull out of this extraordinarily easily.
I agree. I think so too. Like, keep in mind, the 3DS was down significantly, and now it's doing fantastic. So they've been pushed back into a corner.
That took like a year and a half though. So
it took Animal Crossing.
This is around the point where the Wii U will have to match up with the 3DS and start selling well. So what have we got next quarter from Nintendo? Mario Kart doesn't have a date yet. Smash Bros. Doesn't have a date yet.
Comes out next month.
Yeah.
Hey, Cranky Kong's in it.
Yeah, dude, I don't think you understand. Fucking Cranky Kong.
Like we're being cynical about it, but it's actually huge.
Listen to me, there's Cranky Kong.
Yeah. That DuckTales.
Yeah, you like that Scrooge McDuck? We got you covered.
Yeah.
But Smash Bros. Should be sometime this year. Wii Fit just came out. However, there's no way that's going to do what it did
before. No. It's kind of Mario Kart and Smash Bros, isn't it? Like
I think so.
Those were the top-selling ones for the Wii, at least.
That's true. Like if you're going to put two games on the Wii U to help save it, Mario Kart and Smash Bros are a good two to bet on.
I mean, I think better than that would be another Legend of Zelda or a
I'd assume that's
a new
in
Metroid game.
But yeah,
we've probably got 2 years till the next Zelda.
Does Metroid do good numbers? Like I know I like it, but I don't know if that translates to.
That is true. I've never really looked into that.
Millions and millions of units or whatever. So
I don't think it does. I think it's got like a cult following, like the same people who like F-Zero and Star Fox and all those other franchises.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. When's the next Star Fox game coming out?
I don't know.
Who knows?
We got Star Fox 64 3D.
Same time the next F-Zero.
Oh, actually, yeah. That's literally in my 3DS right now.
Well, there you go. That's
all right. Yeah. I'm gonna just jump ahead to maintain the theme of Nintendo slowly dying. Nintendo Force magazine is slowly dying.
Yeah.
Well, that was fast.
For those who don't remember, Nintendo Force is kind of what Nintendo Power turned into. It was an online magazine.
That's like the rising phoenix from the ashes, and
oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they went for about a year, and it turns out they didn't make enough. So now they're doing a Kickstarter for their second year. So if you like Nintendo Force magazine, you can back that. But
I thought it was like a digital only, but I guess there's paper copies.
There are paper copies as well. You get.
It was like cheaper digitally, but if you wanted a paper one, you could subscribe. But it was mainly an online magazine.
Okay. Like I don't know what the quality of the coverage is. Like maybe they're actually really cool and good at managing their community and stuff. I have
it's
no
a lot
idea.
of good people worked on it. Like I know that the dude from Brawl in the Family did comics for it. They had a bunch of people from different sites like GameSpot working on it.
Okay.
But I guess just like it's a magazine.
I was gonna say it's a magazine, right?
Yeah.
No wonder it's dying. It's a magazine.
Even in digital, print is dying. So
yeah. Wait, you guys all subscribed to Nintendo Power back in the day, right?
There was a period of years.
One of us bought like the final issue when it came out.
I bought 2 copies. I got a sealed one because I don't know. I needed it
because of eBay.
I feel like everyone's bought Nintendo Power at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, not just bought, man. Like I would stack the magazines together so that I could see the images of Samus or like Link, like I don't know, matching up on.
I know. Sean has like dozens of those posters, like just everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'd forgotten.
At my parents' house, I have all those magazines in line, posters all over the place.
Yeah.
No, actually, I sent a letter into them once, and obviously I drew Rayman on the envelope, just so I could hopefully get into their art section.
Nice.
Nope.
Oh.
Because I am not a good artist.
That was the last time I read Nintendo
I was even
Power.
worse when I was 14. No, wait. I was 12 then, ish. I don't know.
Come on, be honest. You were probably like 18, right?
Well,
At the right old
did it
age of
last
25.
this was last year.
Yeah, it was actually like last week. Like I just sent in like 4. I figured one of them's got to make it.
To
No,
Nintendo Force.
Actually,
Did it have a fan art section?
I remember actually what I asked, and like someone was like, it didn't get published, like the letter, but someone was nice enough to answer it and then mail that back to me, which was mind blowing for a young child of that age.
Do you still have the reply? Did you, like, keep that?
No, it's gone forever.
Oh,
But
okay.
it was I asked what M in M Bison stood for. Apparently it's Master Bison.
Okay.
Okay, because originally it was supposed to be Mike, so.
Mike Bison.
Mike Bison.
Because you guys don't know this? How like
No.
Balrog, like the boxer, is supposed to be M Bison because it was a parody of Mike Tyson?
Oh.
So you're saying that this guy that wrote back to 12-year-old Vernon was a liar?
Yes. I'm sorry, Vernon, your entire
No!
life is a lie.
No! Nintendo Power!
Now you're happy they're gone.
Yeah.
Now you've learned this
Yeah.
That guy's listening to this? Shit, they found me out.
Man.
All right. I guess continuing on the train of things doing poorly, the Canadian dollar's not doing great.
Yay.
And,
Yay, no surprise.
Yep.
Just
Man.
the only reason I bring this up is because Canadian retailers are increasing game prices by $5, which I hadn't like ever seen.
Like $64.99. You've never
Yeah.
Yeah.
seen. Okay.
Wow.
I've seen it. Like the game prices actually went down. Like I think during the not maybe just on the tip of the PS2 Xbox era because of that.
Okay.
Because the dollar started doing stronger, but now that we're doing a lot worse lately, it's gone back up.
So you would have been in game retail then, right? Like when that.
I wouldn't have been in game retail, but I was like old enough to remember my game purchases and how much I had to pay.
Okay.
John,
okay.
did you work game retail?
I used to, yeah.
We all did.
I managed.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, that's super cute.
I was the manager of the store, so.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like,
Oh,
let's
John
all-
hired us.
Adorable. You should all kiss. What?
No. No. Nice try.
Wait. Yeah, sorry. I always try to sneak that in whenever I can. What what game retail did you guys work for?
EB Games.
Oh, back in the day.
No, we still have EB Games here. Like
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't change the name at
No
some of them.
shit. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No,
sorry.
it wasn't. Yeah. Like
I used to go to Friday Night Magic every Friday at the mall to play with my Magic cards and lose. But between matches, I would always go next door to the EB Games to play their demos.
Oh, you were that annoying kid.
Yeah, I was that kid. I was so that kid. Not even ashamed.
Just playing Punch Out all day. And then
Yeah.
So
Live
many of those
there.
kids. I'm just gonna play Tatsunoko versus Capcom 3 for like 8 hours. Is that cool, guys? I
Yeah.
guess.
I guess. Where's your family? Like, what's going on? Like, oh, that's weird. And they just disappear around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would call my mom on the payphone to pick me up from the mall. Man,
God, payphones.
childhood.
Yep.
You guys, there's
Yeah.
still an EB Games in Canada.
Mhm.
No, they're like the main one. Like GameStops are the rare ones.
Like that
Oh.
branding kind of just didn't resonate here or something.
Yeah, it's
and they-
because
I
for some
believe
reason
GameStop
GameStop's
is
not
slowly
popular. I don't know
transitioning
why.
them all at the moment into GameStops, but the majority are EB Games.
Some were reverting.
What happened was they were like GameStop bought EB Games.
Yeah.
They started converting EB Games to GameStops in Canada, and then I don't know, something happened where GameStop was not popular because it's GameStop. So they're like, oh, let's just keep it EB Games because
Well, I can understand that.
consumers.
I don't know if you guys have these shops up in Canada, but the GameStop logo, like the white text, red text.
Yep.
That's on so many different other businesses. So like
Smashburger.
Yeah, and Sushi Stop, I think, is another one. It's just like red text, white text, and then you're just like, man, this is generic at best.
I guess a brief aside, how long has Smashburger existed? Like, is it an old thing?
I had it for the first time today.
Like, I had it for the first time like a week ago. Like, it seems like it just came into being.
We've had it in Calgary for at least a year.
Okay.
If not 2.
But like, as a franchise, is it like maybe a decade, or is it like? Oh no, back in the 50s.
Back in the 50s, Smashburgers.
Yeah, and he didn't franchise it until 1987, but then it finally came up here. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe there's this whole story, but
Get in your packets and drive on down to Smashburger.
Come on down, good old Smashburger.
It's a darn good time.
1936 Chicago.
You'll love your burger. I'll bet my Pulitzer on it.
Only a nickel on Tuesdays,
Pulitzer,
like that kind of thing. But
I gladly pay you Tuesday for Smashburger today.
There you go.
Popeye.
That's I don't know, like that name and that branding is just, it just sounds really unfortunate in terms of like, I don't know, slang, because smash, like we all know, is like just to get it on, like.
I just imagine
this smash on, you know,
smashing burgers against walls or just punching food.
Like that's how they're tenderizing stuff. Is just
They just have a box in the back, just beating the shit out of like.
Because I just imagine a really graphic, like like dry humping involving burgers. Just like think about the people working at
sexual
Smash.
thing.
Yeah, just like grinding on that ground beef. Grind beef. Think about it.
And then no one else ate burgers for the rest of the week.
And then nobody continued to listen to this show. This is our last episode.
Like, I can just see your ratings just going down. I was told they were going to talk about video games. Now they're like talking about grinding out hamburgers. What's going on? Sorry.
Everyone just simultaneously vomited. Yeah. And continuing with money talk, Valve is adding more currencies to Steam, which means some people might end up paying
went
more
right
or less.
back into it. So good.
Yeah,
so
just
good.
right back. Although I've been seeing all manner of weird currencies as I sold like all my cards this past week, so I believe it. That's true.
Well, at the moment, I think they only had American, Europe, both the pound and the euro, and then they had another one which I wasn't familiar with. But now they're adding like 50 countries worth. So like I saw Canada specifically. So that means we could have to start. So buy all your games now. They're going to go up in price.
Yay.
So wait, are they accepting Dogecoin?
Yeah, are they taking Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all that stuff?
I don't know. I put my reference there.
We say Dogecoin.
How is it pronounced? I always say Doge. I've had someone else say Doge.
I've been doing Doge, but then again, like I feel right because me and my friends say Doge, but you're probably just as right as I am, and we need to like have a serious discussion about it.
Is this the GIF thing?
I've been landing on the G a little harder, so it's like Doge, but I don't like. It's just got a little.
I've been going.
Have you guys been hashing cryptos? You getting those?
Getting that Kanye West.
That one's not allowed anymore. It got delisted, but
bummer.
Yeah,
I can't imagine why.
Connie got mad. He was not into that. So
the Easy, man. You always gotta watch out for Easy. Nah, man. Cryptocurrency is just like a scary thing.
It's weird. I don't know what to make of it.
It's about as risky as playing the stock market, to be fair. Riskier, if anything.
Yeah, but I mean, like the initial mining of it is just kind of leave your computer on and press this thing, and then it happens. Like honestly, we have Dogecoins, and thanks to all this weird Jamaican bobsled team thing, it's actually like, oh, weird. This is actually worth money now.
I just wanted to spotlight this person in the chat for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are ruining Smashburger for me.
I had a good time at Smashburger, but it was, I don't know, they had several types of meat. I appreciate that.
Smashburger was very tasty. Their milkshakes are on point. But think about grinding.
Every time you go there.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Really ground.
Why do you think they call it ground beef?
You guys have seen that one viral YouTube video of all these kids just grinding on an ottoman. It's pretty risky.
Wait, what?
No, but I believe it.
I guess I'm gonna have to look it up now. Like,
please, guys, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to put this
in the chat.
I'm gonna put this link into the chat.
It's important people know. But okay.
All right.
So,
last
money,
topic that
business.
I brought up for the news section.
Oh yeah, this is like a good story.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
PlayStation at the moment on the PlayStation Store has a sale called 14 for 14. They actually have some pretty nice like quality games discounted quite a bit, like Tearaway, which I had been not Tearaway, sorry, Puppeteer, which I
bought that actually.
Is $7 on Plus. Rain is like $3 on with Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely recommend it. If you have Plus, you can get some pretty good games real cheap. So I would look into that.
Oh, Enslaved is on there too for $5. That game's pretty cool. So
okay, it's going into the chat. I found it.
And then this last story Nathan put here, and it's probably the craziest story.
It is pretty weird, and just more like facets to it kept opening it up over the course of the week. But I guess I'll start at the beginning. So Candy Crush Saga is a viral game that I've never played, but I guess it's kind of a Bejeweled type thing, but with candy. Is that a fair summary?
Also, I couldn't post it into the chat, so it's in the docs. Actually, I could probably post it in the chat. Sorry that I'm derailing this. I know we have a lot of...
I'm not watching this while we're recording.
Grinding on ottomans. Just like that's the real news. But anyway, I don't know. Okay. Did anyone play Candy Crush? Has anyone seen Facebook
I've
invites?
Seen it.
Okay. The company behind that, King, apparently trademarked the word candy and started sending out kind of threatening letters this week of just like, hey, stop using our, you're confusing the marketplace. We're going to seek our lawyers on you. That was kind of phase one. Then there was also this whole, like, they've also tried to trademark Saga because that's kind of part of their...
I didn't hear this part.
...overarching branding. So that led to kind of direct legal exchange between them and the Banner Saga people.
I saw that one, yeah.
Yeah. So Rock, Paper, Shotgun actually did a great job of kind of breaking down all of that side of the story specifically. They've been like reaching out to Stoic and all this. It's kind of just weird to see such a generic, like both words are pretty generic, but like them trying to like bring under somebody's banner and like stop them from using it in any way whatsoever. It's kind of, so there's been all sorts of like rebuttal to this. Like there's a Candy game jam going on soon. Of like indie developers basically flipping off King and saying, no, it's such a generic word, shut up. And I guess, like on some level, like seeing all sorts of weird clones of Candy Crush in the in the iOS store, like you can see why this started. But then for it to extend to like other words and terms seems to be kind of just a big company using its money and heft to kind of push others around, and it's getting kind of gross. Like people are already kind of, I didn't even know who was behind Candy Crush Saga until this week. Now it's like I'm seeing things like Zynga 2 and whatever being thrown around in reference to them. So they didn't make a lot of friends in some circles, and yeah, it's gotten kind of weird.
Here's the thing. There's two things that people most seem to leave out whenever they talk about this.
Yeah.
The first is the trademark is only for like video games.
Yeah.
So it's only in regards to video games. So like candy companies don't have to worry or anything like that.
Oh no. Yeah, it's just for like the one that kept getting touted was Candy Slots. Seemed like a pretty different game that happened to use candy in it, and that seemed like that guy had a case for being like, I wasn't trying to rip you guys off. This is just a thing. But anyway, sorry. Continue.
And the second was that Apple was actually sending out the cease and desists to companies
on their behalf. Like
on King's behalf. So like Apple agrees with this, and they have been apparently awarded the patent or whatever the copyright, whatever the phrasing is
for candy.
Trademark.
Yeah, the trademark. That's the one.
So I don't know.
The patent for candy. I invented candy.
I kind of just wish they would adopt kind of the same attitude Notch did when all sorts of Minecraft clones came out and just kind of go, whatever. Like, that's fine. Like, it gets kind of gross because you have to dig through it, but at least, smaller developers don't get shoved around. And
like the one point on the other side of this is, if you look at the iOS store, there's like 900 games that are all called Fario, and it's a platformer.
Yeah.
So
like weird clone style games is definitely a problem on there. But I actually found an article today that also like just Reddit showed this. It was basically pointing out the irony of this because King themselves like 4 years ago basically made a Pac-Man style clone that was actually a ripoff of this other game. So I don't know. Like in years past, they have been no better on this front from an ethical standpoint. But now, because they have the money to actually back up their kind of actually license all this stuff, they're starting to kind of push people around and
just being an asshole. Great.
Yeah, it's kind of lame.
This is as weird as doesn't somebody own the copyright on Blue, and that's why Blu-ray doesn't have an E?
Wow.
I don't know that, but that sounds possible with
intensely believable.
I think I heard that. I haven't looked it up, but
or like as it relates to media or something.
As it relates to rays.
Yeah,
exactly.
In relation to
Spectrum of Light is copywritten, man.
Yeah, can't use it without paying somebody. I don't know. It's just this has been something that just keeps unfolding, and yeah, it's kind of weird to see a game like the Banner Saga get caught up in it because it has like nothing to do with any of that. And I kind of want to look it up, like just the kind of games King is like attaching the word saga to just doesn't seem deserving of the word saga. Like it's like Pet Farm Saga, and it's like that's not a saga. There's nothing like.
Yeah, what if it's like the third in like a long
really
line
character
of
development?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it here, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's all kind of very casual game, very goofy, lighthearted stuff. But then the word saga is in there, which I don't know.
Yeah, and how much of a saga is Candy Crush Saga? It's like just level after level of match 3.
Yeah,
the saga because it takes forever to get through.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. It's long, I guess, and then at some point you need to pay them. Isn't that the thing? Like the last 25% is like a steep incline.
Not even the last 25%. It gets really buy heavy really early on in the game.
Oh.
They employ a lot of psychological things to incentivize you to buy things. So there's generally a turn limit on the match 3 stuff, and there's a point limit that you have to reach to pass a level, and there's all these things that you have to fulfill to pass a level, and you always get so close to finishing it, and as soon as you run out of turns, it's like, oh man, that sucks. You totally could have beaten this if you had 3 more turns. Oh, what's this? You could hypothetically buy a couple more turns, take care of this level, move on to the next one. So
make
it's just
something
like
of yourself. Yeah,
That's great.
I've been casually studying like I don't know, game theory and Skinner box stuff, Skinner box theory and all this stuff. So, you know, as a guy who tries to like learn as much about video games as possible, like I'm able to be like, hey, I get what you're doing. Like you're trying to like incentivize me psychologically to pay money on this so that I can progress and get that feeling of progression. But I get it, and I'm not going to do it, and also fuck you. But I could see how like a large portion of people who don't like navel gaze as much as the rest of us do, like would be like, oh man, I could just totally like, I could just pass this, and I would feel a lot better about myself. And also, if I may continue my rant just really quickly, you get a number of lives, so you die 5 times, or like you don't finish a level 5 times, and then they're like, well, you have to wait for your lives to replenish now, and 1 life replenishes every 30 minutes, or you could buy more lives. I'm just saying, think about it. We're King Entertainment. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Seeing in the chat real quickly, Sony left the E off so that they could copyright Blue. So maybe it's the other way around.
They wanted that Blue, the BLU. Okay.
But your point about with the lives just kind of reminded me. Do you guys remember that Sonic game? I don't know if it was the most recent one or the one before that, where the pre-order bonus was like 20 lives.
That was the most recent one. That's Lost World.
Oh, right.
That was so dumb.
It's like it's a home console. It's not an arcade game. It's not like they gave you a bag of quarters. Like that doesn't.
Well, I mean, like it's a pre-order bonus. You just get if you're gonna pre-order the game anyways. It's just like, oh, here's this.
Yeah,
but it was dumb to be like, oh yeah, 20 extra lives because you'll need it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into questions.
Okay.
Did we not have anything about the machinima thing or the?
No. Do you have more news?
Oh yeah. What was that this week? That was the Xbox One like viral marketing thing, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, where they're like, hey, talk about this thing in a favorable way. Wink, wink, wink. Money.
Well, I mean, like, there's always like little programs like that for certain channels. That's not a surprise. The problem was that the stipulations on the contracts were that you had to only say positive things. Which, to be fair, if you ever look at any of those contracts, any of those channels have the sign, they traditionally do say that, because why would you let them say something negative when you're promoting an item?
For it?
Yeah, so like people were getting super upset about that, but at the same time, that's kind of just how things are.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like that. I just want to at least make a small comment about it. There was another story that broke big this week, and I can't remember what the hell it was. I even saw it earlier in the chat, but can't remember what it is. Sorry about that. While we're doing that, how about we just go on to emails?
Okay.
Great. Let's do that. So, for people watching live, if you have some questions, throw them into the chat, and we'll maybe pick some out. For right now, we have some that were emailed and sent in to us. I'm going to start with this first one by Annie. It says, I was wondering if you guys have a favorite area ambience in a game. Her personal favorite is the Earth Sea in Xenoblade. So I guess your favorite area in a game.
Or is it like the music in that area? Like you just hang out in that area and it's real ambient and you're just like, yeah.
I told you all the info I had.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm just trying to suss out what that means. Is that like the kind of people who in Brothers would sit on that bench for like an hour and just be like, yeah, this is awesome. Look at that.
Sure.
Okay.
Forest of Wales is pretty good.
Trying to think if there's like a area in a game that was just like stop and appreciate. Seems like El Shaddai might be a thing that had those. Is that fair?
Yeah,
Stop and look at it.
I'd just say all of El Shaddai at that point, really.
Okay. Shadow of the Colossus probably for me. Like there were just regions where I'd just be like, I'm gonna swim in this lake because I want to, and there's nothing in it, but this is so weird. Like it's up in the mountains and this is cool. So stuff like that, I just get caught up in the environment.
Anybody else? Say maybe like Journey or the Uncharted series had some pretty nice looking places.
We're just like, I'm gonna swim in this pool, and then he'll say something funny. Yeah. That was good stuff.
I guess I have two. The first one, it would be like Half-Life 2, beginning of the game, like the City 17, just sort of like walking around and sort of being told the story of the city, not through like, hey, this is what happened, surprise, but more of like you just sort of like picking up on contextual clues of like, yeah, this is further in the future, all this bad stuff happened, now we're in this military state, and I think that was
just
sort of
kind of witnessing weird stuff going on in an alley or something, and figure out.
And it was definitely a sort of like a breakthrough moment in video games for me, because they say like what like when you're writing for movies or whatever, it's like show don't tell, like you have to show someone something, but when you're writing for video games, it's do don't show. So they sort of like thrust you into this like interactive environment where all this ambient stuff is happening all around you, not necessarily happening with you right next to it. So you walk around and explore, and you like pick up these contextual clues of like, hey, like this is the area I'm now in. And it's just it was a very like watershed moment in gaming for me to see that happen. And I guess the other one is just like, are you guys Phantasy Star Online players?
I have played PSO before.
Yeah, on Dreamcast I played it, yeah.
Like one of my happy places is the spaceship where you can buy your items and just like take care of all that stuff. That's just like my like happy place zone.
Like just isn't that kind of just the hub outside of missions?
Yeah.
You just kind of okay.
The futuristic area.
Some cyberpunk stuff, man.
Mags, isn't that right? You look after your mag.
Yeah. Phantasy Star.
Okay. Vague memories. Okay.
All right, what's up next on emails?
All right, here's one from the chat.
Okay.
Thoughts on the new RoboCop movie? I guess the trailer.
I'll watch it.
I'm kind of apprehensive about it, but I don't know. I wish it was rated R. Like that's
as long as it's better than the Total Recall remake.
I'm just kind of worried it'll fall in that same zone, though. Like it's like a PG-13 remake of a Verhoeven movie. Like it's very specific. It's like it's walking right over there. So I don't know.
I guess it's sort of because
I don't know why.
the movie economy is sort of in a different place than it was back in the Verhoeven days in like the 70s and 80s and even early 90s, like when people were just really experimenting. Right now, like the big thing that that filmmakers want to do, or like movie studios want to do, is they want to break into the Chinese market.
Yeah.
So because like once you break into that, there's this whole like flood of money that's going to come in, because China only lets in like 10 foreign films or some stupid number like that per year. So if you're one of those things, like and you got to be like a PG-13 movie. You can't it's the reason why the Red Dawn remake changed their villains from Chinese to North Koreans, was so that they could try to get into that market.
Yeah.
So you have to play all of these rules of this I don't know, kind of totalitarian or oligarchy or whatever.
I didn't know the PG-13 thing was a part of that. That's kind of weird.
I mean, I don't think I've heard evidence to support that, but it makes a lot of sense. And even in the U.S. market, PG-13 movies are going to sell better than rated R movies. So it's just this I don't know, not to use the terms I learned in film school too much, but the classicist overtaking of these things that we hold so near and dear to us to make as much of a dividend as possible.
So yeah, I'm for those kind of.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. Okay.
Why not? It's not gonna stop me, but it's sort of I kind of understand why they wouldn't want to make it rated R. They're sort of cashing in on that nostalgia.
And I'm just thinking, it's I want it to be more like Dread, but Dread was a huge box office failure. So of course they wouldn't want to make it like that, but that's what I'd like.
I appreciate anything that is trying to pick Detroit up. Okay.
But they got that RoboCop statue now. This should be fine.
Yeah, things are going great. Things are going great for the Detroit. They got the RoboCop statue. I'm pretty sure Eminem's doing all right. It's just, we just need to make Detroit okay again.
Well, that's why we're gonna have a trilogy of RoboCop movies again.
Great.
So that'll work.
If it pays off, yeah. I don't know. Michael Keaton's in it. That's kind of crazy.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Gary Oldman. There you go.
RoboCop remembers he's a human. It still has a human hand for some weird reason.
Yeah. All right. Sean, any interest?
That last question was from Bedtime Ballerina. Next questions, we had 2 from Cody.
Okay.
Right. What Nintendo franchise do you want to see Retro Studios work on after DK Country Tropical Freeze?
F-Zero and Star Fox.
Okay.
I'll say F-Zero. I don't really care too much about Star Fox.
Oh, they should bring back Clue Land, probably.
There you go. Mock Rider.
I do want another Metroid game, but if those guys are burnt out on it, I don't, want to put them on that path.
You know what I actually want? I want a new Wrecking Crew game.
Yeah, Wrecking Crew. I finally experienced a taste of that in the NES remix. It's kind of cool. So,
I know.
Yeah, they should bring it back. How it's you're smashing stuff with the gamepad or something?
I think it just make the puzzles more intricate, really. So.
Actually, that sounds like a 3DS download or something, but
probably.
They should do that either way.
Like Dr. Luigi.
Yeah, that tier of kind of stuff. Did anyone play that? Is that good? Is that
It's $15. I kind of can't justify it.
That's too much.
Well, I don't know. It's all right. Well, maybe for $10, but I have a bunch of other ways of playing Dr. Mario right now. So.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather they didn't work on Donkey Kong. I personally don't care much about that franchise, but yeah.
Let me tell you, this new one, it's got this sweet new character.
What?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Cranky Kong?
he's not a new kid. He's the oldest one. He's been in all of them. Since Donkey Kong.
How stoked are you?
Not very, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine. I didn't play that last one either.
What if there's a skin for where he's just the 2D sprite from the original Donkey Kong? With that same one frame of animation.
That might be good. I don't know. That nostalgia. If they just press the right nostalgia buttons, maybe they'll get me, but I don't know.
I don't know. The nostalgia was never really surrounded around Cranky Kong. It was mostly more of a Donkey Kong.
I kind of wish they just made a game where Cranky Kong just sat in his chair and just belittled anyone who came by him. That would have been
Just Rocking Chair Simulator 2014.
Exactly.
Just
if there's a market for Farming Simulator, I mean, come on. And soda pop drinking.
One of the most important moments for me in gaming was I was thinking about how I sort of at times I find myself belittling other people's hobbies, sports, people are watching football and stuff. I don't get it. Haha, what's a sport? And then realizing that I just spent 25 minutes watching a Let's Play of Woodcutting Simulator 2013 and understanding that it's okay to have different hobbies than other people and we shouldn't make fun of these things because I guarantee our hobby is just as dumb as everyone else's.
That line of "it's okay to have different hobbies," that's probably what you tell your parents all the time. What are you doing all day?
Making people eat hot peppers.
It's okay to have different hobbies, Mom. Okay, like gosh, just okay.
Frozen, let it go.
All right,
that is that song.
Cody.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Took me a second. Okay.
Making references.
Let's say you guys have the ability to make one game. What game do you make, and what developer do you choose to make it? You can choose any platform. It can be a sequel or new IP or whatever.
Okay. You guys got one or?
I'm thinking right now.
Well, my easy answer is I want Burnout Paradise 2 by the original Criterion.
Yeah, so they should hire those guys back, pay them whatever they want.
Second choice would be Viva Pinata 3 by Rare.
Okay.
The original Rare, because I'm pretty sure they broke up somewhat too.
I've kind of been wanting just like this open-ended, it's just like a chase game where it's just like get to Mexico. That's the only objective, and Rockstar makes it, and you're just driving south, and it's I don't know. It's basically like what's that Spielberg movie from like '74? Sugarland Express? Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Is this like an endless runner on my phone?
No,
Except
it's like
dark?
you're just trying to get south of the border because that lawless land, you're trying to escape. And then there's, just try to lay low, or like if you get in a chase, there's cops. I don't know. Just a simple objective, but it looks really nice. And I don't know.
All right. John, Vernon?
I got one if you don't, Vernon.
Go for it.
Okay. I want a super stylish action-adventure game like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, but it takes place all in space, and you're just a superhero version of Carl Sagan.
Who makes it? Is it Platinum?
Yeah, it'd be Platinum.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. Okay.
I just want Half-Life 3.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
I know I have to. That's like the most cliched thing to do, but
do you choose Valve to make it though, or do you bring in somebody else?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, Valve.
Platinum games.
I mean, the thing I was most enamored with of the current console generation was The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Valve really pioneered a lot of storytelling elements in video games, but Naughty Dog really brought it to this zenith of like, this is how games should be. Like, this is us not assuming too much or assuming that the audience knows too little, and like this is us like allowing ourselves to be subtextual in how we write for video games. And I guess to that point, like, I just want another Team Ico game, man.
Yeah.
Like,
What happens?
Someday.
Yeah,
Someday.
I value storytelling. Like, above all else, I value storytelling in video games and character development in video games. And Shadow of the Colossus was one of the biggest moments in gaming for me, just because like it was told in such a minimalist way, but it had such like profound elements to it, and I just want more of that.
Who left from that team though? Like, isn't that kind of not a good
something
team?
Ueda?
The producer, developer, like a bunch of people bled out from that team.
Yeah.
That's so discouraging, but yeah.
I mean, the gameplay elements and the UI and control of Shadow of the Colossus weren't the best.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best parts about it, and the thing that like your favorite game is something you love despite all of its problems. But like the most important,
the frame rate on PS2 was really rough, but didn't matter. But yeah.
But the reason Shadow of the Colossus was so good and so important to me was because of the story it was telling, and because of the way it told the story, and I just want to see more of that.
All right. Got a question here from Brooke. She writes, what is the hardest game you have played that has come out within the last 5 years?
Super Meat Boy.
I guess that was last 5 years. That's getting close to almost more than 5 years.
Yeah, I spent so much time on the I Want to Be the Guy. I think that was the my rite of passage as a gamer to spend 8 hours on the I Want to Be the Guy level and beat that.
That broke me. I didn't finish that stage, but yeah.
I've done the main quest. That's all I've done for Super Meat Boy.
I've actually never finished the game. I finished the I Want to Be the Guy level, and I was like, well, I'm done. Fuck it.
Life successful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if it's like Spelunky in its own way. Maybe.
Like, I could say something like Dark Souls, but I've played like maybe 20 minutes of it, so that
That's the thing. Like, I've played Demon Souls, but I've like failed at it, so I haven't even gotten through it to know whether it is always like that or if it's just a learning thing.
I'll say FTL because I haven't even beat it on easy, and I keep going back to it.
Okay. Maybe I'll say Spelunky in that way, where it's like I'm still in a zone where I want to play more and actually defeat what it has to offer. So, yeah.
My problem is all I do is play hard games, so it kind of blurs the line.
Oh, you're just way too good now.
Oh, I'm Proton Joe. Look at the thing behind me. Look at all these video games I have.
I'm sorry.
Fuck, man. Cut us some slack.
Nah, I'm just thinking like they just kind of blur together. So I'm like, all right, I want to be the guy.
Games are just too easy, guys. Like, sheesh.
Like, have you guys ever gotten to that point where you've just transcended video games as an art form?
That's why I can't win a conversation.
Effortless. But even in the last 5 years, like, you know, limiting to the last 5 years, you can't think of a specific one that was like...
My problem is I think of too many so that they all kind of blur together. I'm like, I could say ROM hacks, I could say I want to be the guy, I could say the Ninja Gaiden series, Battletoads, I could say...
They didn't come out within the last 5 years.
Battletoads is a long time ago.
Okay, maybe I can't say that. Well, I thought played in the last 5 years.
No, it says that came out recently.
Oh, okay, it does say that. It does say have played, but yeah.
I'm just going to say I want to be the guy series.
Okay.
Or I guess I want to be the series.
All right, and this last question, it was an email from some unreadable email account, so sorry to that guy. He asked, hey guys, with America having net neutrality struck down, what do you think of net neutrality? Does Canada have net neutrality? And how will this affect gaming online? Was anyone following this?
A little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wait, you guys in Canada
right?
have mostly just, you have to deal with bandwidth caps, don't you?
Yeah. We've been kind of upgrading a bit with our ISP, but it's still throttled a lot.
Up in Canada, do you guys have that? Because, like, where I live, I can only get one cable provider, and I can only get internet through them, and it's sort of monopolistic in that way. Are you guys able to shop around?
There's at least two big options, and then there's some smaller companies too. But
but it's not based on like location. You can pick who you want.
Well, it's just lovely. Yeah, it's I guess you guys are all Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, over here in the great city of Los Angeles, net neutrality has been a thing I've been following pretty closely because. The cable companies down here, the ISP providers down here, have this really monopolistic stranglehold over who can get what.
Is it all Comcast kind of stuff? That's the big one.
It's divided up by neighborhood. So some are some people are Comcast, some people are Time Warner. I'm under Time Warner, and I am astounded by how it is 2014 and how extraordinarily terrible my service is. It's laughably bad. And that doesn't seem like it's going to change until Google Fiber comes around, which sucks.
Even then, how is that even doing right now? That's only in like Kansas City, isn't it?
Yeah,
I thought it went to Austin.
If you're in Kansas and Utah, you're great.
Oh, okay.
Things are great, but it's not going to hit.
You're downloading stuff just for the shit of it.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit us for another several years. Like, I don't think it's going to hit a major metropolitan center for a while. But the whole net neutrality business is that networks are looking to, ISPs are looking to throttle something like Netflix. So it's not so much consumer side, like you have to pay more to get this, but like someone like Netflix is going to have to pay for preferred bandwidth to send to us. And it sort of made the target harder to argue against. But then
that'll also, like, Netflix will raise costs. Right?
Exactly.
Like, that would be, yeah. However, specifically, because I was following a bit too, specifically with Netflix, they seem to be countering it like, well, we're just going to shit on you if you make us do that.
Yeah.
Like, seek our customer base on you or something.
The assumed outcome would be is then these providers would have to then charge consumers more.
Yeah, Netflix is banking upon public opinion to reverse the idea. Big problem is that, I don't know, when has Time Warner ever cared about what its customers think?
Sure.
You know, when have they ever listened to me when I've called and complained that I'm downloading something at a snail's pace? And, not to be an evil genius here, but if I were Time Warner, I would throttle Netflix. Netflix would say hey, call your ISP, complain about this. Because our prices are going up, and then Time Warner would just release their own streaming service. Surprise, we were working on this all along. This is our move.
And they have access to Warner licenses, so they could theoretically do that.
Yeah, the big fear is that cable companies are so big and so prevalent that they can easily box people out of what they're doing. You're seeing more on-demand stuff on Time Warner Cable, and it's frightening because Time Warner sucks.
Right, and I guess tying into the third question of will it affect gaming, that immediately makes me think of Sony trying to do PlayStation Now with their Gaikai streaming services.
And having to up the cost for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
In the same way.
So
maybe.
Yeah, could definitely. And it sucks.
Yeah, we're in a sort of a moment of flux where we're trying to figure this out, and it's kind of scary.
All right, we're at the end of the show. We have a section called Games of the Week.
Really ending on a low note.
It's the future's really scary. Yeah. But hey, we get to end on favorite games.
We have a segment called Games of the Week where you say out of all the games you played this week, what's your favorite game?
What should folks play the most?
What should folks play?
Yeah.
So it's easy for me. I played one game. My game of the week is Risk of Rain.
Oh, weird. Okay. My list is long, but I don't know. I'm gonna say, again, I haven't finished 999, so I don't, haven't had all that sweet payoff. I was really, really happy with Lumines this week. It was just.
And this is Electronic Symphony for the Vita.
Yeah, this is that newer one. So yeah, I don't know, just right back in whatever 2006 or whatever when I was playing the first one. It's just oh yeah, this game's awesome. This is a great puzzle game. Combos. So yeah, I'll go with that.
I'm gonna say because oh sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Vernon.
No, this is all you.
Okay. I'm gonna say Nidhogg this week.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, because that's really good if you have people to play against.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say Borderlands 2. You guys should reinstall it and live 2013 over again.
I don't know if you guys have heard of this game, Borderlands, but it's really good.
It's so wild!
Did you know they made a sequel? Holy cow!
But no, play it if you have friends and you're bored. Boop.
Well, thank you for joining us, Vernon. Where can people find your stuff? Sell yourself to the audience.
youtube.com/hotpeppergaming. For those of you who don't know us, we're a YouTube channel that where people try to review video games directly after eating hot peppers. Legitimately the dumbest thing in the world. I'm okay with it, so should you.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, dude, this is I didn't tell you guys, but this is actually my first podcast ever.
Oh,
there you go.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
we saw your podcast V card.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get gross like that, there's
He did want to get that gross.
Well, it was grinding on beef for 10 minutes.
On this episode, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah. My first podcasting experience was me talking at length about grinding on ground beef.
There you go. Well, hey,
it was really
everyone's
fun.
First time's a little awkward, right?
Seriously, though, guys, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
For sure. This was great. Always welcome. And for anyone else, if you guys want to send in questions next time, it's follow us on Twitter. It's at TDP Podcast. We're on Facebook, Top Down Perspective, or it's just topdownperspective@gmail.com. We'll be back next week. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Thanks.
See you.